So how is their casting different?
You mean how does it feel different in terms of casting them, or how does their playstyle differ?
What is different in what they focus on in playing?
Ooh, I feel like from what I experienced talking to Nicov, he's definitely one of those players who likes to take very, very little risks. So, on the other hand, I feel like Dogao is willing to play a little bit more aggressive. So, I would actually call Nicov more safe as a player, whereas Dogao is a little bit more aggressive. But they have some very, very similar aspects in their gameplay. So they are somewhat similar players. I think the guy's a little bit more aggressive, and if there is an opportunity that opens up for an aggressive play, then he's more likely to grab that compared to Nicov.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. Especially both players really good in mixed maps as well, so their mind is pretty versatile, I would say. Both players good in team game tournaments as well. Dragao obviously played with the SY boys in tournament. Nicov, longtime member of AM, played with the greatest in the world. So yeah, must have been a great experience. And I even tried to book coaching by Dogao once as well, but he didn't want to. For personal reasons, apparently. No. He just felt like it's not. He wanted to coach other people. And we see Liereyy on the other side of the map is trying to go for some naming or at least some scouting. Sees the berries and that is it. Is finding all his sheep already. Villager is safe there quite easily. And sends 4 on wood with kills. Interesting.
He did steal one of the sheep here from Nicov, and Nicov didn't find 2 of his other sheep, so Nicov might be down by 3 over here, which is far from ideal. And also, if you add this to the fact that Nicov has a very bad base to start with, this isn't looking like a great start for Nicov.
Yeah, and well, defensive gold is okay. Barry's obviously extremely ugly. Is he going for the wild walls? I really like that's something I've extremely learned from Nicov, how to set up my base and how to protect bad gold spots. Like him, always having the archer ranges on the crucial hills, always having the buildings protecting areas that could easily be hurt. While we see potentially a lame here by Liereyy, he's around. No loom thus far. Is he trying to squeeze it in? Goes for some walls. Still didn't find those goals.
He's still behind by 3 sheep over here. Liereyy managed to lame one, and apparently Dogao is missing the other 2 by a few tiles. So he could have issues with his food. He's going to bring his scout, maybe even get loom in, although I think he wants to play this one without loom.
Yeah, he is attacking the scout now. Should be fine then. Liereyy maybe does some dancing. Tries to get on the hill. Nicov won't give that to him and is just running away. Still, -3 goats is pretty ugly. Nicov will be fully walled. I think that has to be an archer play.
Yeah, indeed. He is walling in front of the gold. And for now, I think Nicov is pretty much fine, but he needs to get at least 2 of those goats back. Because without that, it's pretty ugly. On the other hand, Lierey's scout here could get trapped. So Nicov could easily finish it off.
Let's take a look. HP advantage at the moment is -3. So Liereyy actually with the advantage. Maybe in the long run that's an option. Scout will take any damage? No. And, well, Liereyy knows that he is trapped. Militia running over the map. What is Liereyy playing? Is that Drush into Flash, or is that more Drush into FC while he finds 2 more sheep?
Well, yeah, this is very bad for Nicov losing those sheep, but I think this has to be a Drush into Flash play. Like, his map is so open with all those goals that this is pretty much a suicide Drush FC.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. 1... Ostrich now being pushed, 2 farms being dropped. I'm a bit surprised here. And 4 on berries. Nicov, is he just playing archers after building 2 farms, or is he trying to make a fast castle happen?
I think he's gonna play archers. Nicov is one of those players who likes to drop farms in Dark Age. Even if he has all his sheep, sometimes he says he prefers to drop 1 farm so he can delay his herdables running out.
Okay.
That's one of the kind of unique things I noticed about his playstyle. something that pretty much identifies him if this was Hidden Cup.
Ah, okay. Trying to give some tips there. Nicov lives in Italy? Yes, he does. March was pretty rough for him from when I talked to him. Everything shut down. Not really sure how his situation is at the moment. Now sends 2 villagers on gold, make it 3. And yeah, he was a bit scared, so did go for Loom. 10:33 timing. Pretty damn sharp, only 3 seconds late there. Militia knocking at the door, but won't find the kill.
Yeah, those militias aren't really going to achieve a lot here, and Liereyy indeed is with the Drush flush for himself. I actually think Nicov is in a better position here. Lierey's base is wide open right now, especially from the right side, whereas Nicov is fully forward, not really in danger.
Okay, Ashley saying in March it was bad, now it is even worse. Okay. Feels Nicov, man. And you're saying nothing is in danger. Well, some of those walls are getting relatively low. Still dancing a bit. Scout is now dying of Liereyy. Wants to trade off before Nicov reached fuel age. Now we probably see the archer range being dropped here. No surprise. And I think Liereyy will just go onto archer ranges in front of his gold spot as well. And then should have his base relatively secured.
Yeah, look at Nicov. He's going for Horse Color immediately. Not sure if Liereyy is going to do that. He should be able to afford it, though.
Yeah, lots of resources there. Double archery range instantly. Double bit X, and now has resources. Goes for Man-at-Arms, actually. Okay.
It could make sense, because if you want to get through those walls, the Man-at-Arms will be super helpful, and all of those militias have full HP.
Nicov with a very fortunate scouting, by the way. He didn't scout anything of Liereyy and just goes over there, and the perfect timing to scout the double archery range.
Yeah, and he also sees all 3 of those gold mines, so he basically has all the information he needs. Now, Nikov's walls are slowly going down here.
Okay, well, Man-at-Arms is certainly helping out there, and we have the archer scaring that away. Blacksmith now being built, and Liereyy, how much is he going for? The thing is, if he sends over even like 2-3 skirmishes, he's just producing so much pressure against Nicov. But Scout is trying to intercept.
Yeah, that's a beautiful interception, in fact, from Nicov. Could pick off a skirm for free. Matrons are trying to come back, but that's not gonna happen.
It's the kill. Okay, that was lovely for Nicov. Buys himself quite some time. Man-at-Arms are going back, and he is buying himself some time. The question is, Nicov, second archery range? Yes or no?
I think yes. He has to go for it, otherwise Liereyy is just gonna pretty much stomp him to the ground. Now, Nicov does have a Horse Color, and Liereyy does not, so in the long run, Nikov's eco is going to be slightly more efficient.
Nicov has fletching for now, so can dance a bit better. Even opens that. Oh,
that's, I think, a little bit too greedy.
That looks like a play of mine, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I need to work way more than I really wanted to. Going for some wild walls, need to run, delete some more there. Idle villagers, rush out a defensive tower. He just could have sat behind his walls.
Yeah, like, Celtic Man-at-Arms are super dangerous against skirmishers, so I'm really not sure if this was worth it for Nicov. He could have just sit back and wait, basically.
Oh, yeah. Well, he felt like, okay, I have fletching, my opponent does not have fletching, let's move out and punish him for that. I don't mind that idea. It was just the Man-at-Arms still around. The scout even saw that everything was at the front there. Might lose his life now. Nicov is trying to get to that hill. Loses the scout indeed. And fletching only now kicks in.
Now, the food villagers are actually better for Liereyy here, and he's gonna go for archer armor first. But he's going to take this fight before that.
Let's take a look. Nicov is running. Small bottleneck there. Not going to be too easy. Double archery range for him. TC not even shooting. Doesn't even bother. And, well, Liereyy just created a base behind this one that is super safe as well. Now just mass range against mass range. But completely pushed away from the barriers is Nicov.
Yeah, that hurts quite badly for Nicov, to be honest. And one of the reasons why I kind of dislike Nikov's draft was that I feel like he just has a lot of archer civs against Lierey's archer civs, and I don't know if you want to play archer wars against Liereyy.
Oh, Riz always, thanks for the 5 gifted sub, and Lord Stromek for $100. Thank you so much for your support. Well, Nicov is trying to do something there, jumps a bit, tries to make something happen. Still has lots of skirmishes, so feels like he can take this engagement, but loses the blacksmith, and well, that's another 130 wood or something that he needs to invest for a new one. The hilt control, just so nice by Liereyy.
Yeah, that's a beautiful hill control right now for him. And Liereyy just keeps sending in a mixture of archers and skirms, so defending this is going to be very, very painful for Nicov, and at the end of the day, the Mantarm's investment was totally worth it.
Oh yeah, they're doing so much damage. I think damage output is from 4 to 6, but then there's armor, so it's actually from 3 to 5? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that probably. Now, Nicov is gonna send his units forward, but Liereyy is fully walled by now, and it's only a few skirmishers and 2 archers, so they don't really have an insane damage output.
Oh, I know one day. Okay, from 4 to 8. Ah, yeah, from 4 to 8. Yeah, that's right. And then there's armor, so it's actually from 3 to 7, something like that, against Palisades. Yeah.
Now, Nicov is getting close to losing one of his archer ranges here, so he might need to fight this one.
Has the higher hill if he wants to go for it. Saw that the counterattack won't do too much. Liereyy sending some skirmishers back home. Should lose at least 1.
Nope, just passing.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nicov needs to keep that archer range up, as he's gonna balance Zico with a market, potentially thinking about clicking up to Castle Age.
Nice split there. Does a good job. Nicov plays this very clean. KD so far 2-4. Villager pulled in time as well. Nicov is doing a lot of great moves here. I like it.
Yeah, he's doing a beautiful job, as we are saying that he loses 1 villager here, and he loses the range. We just jinxed him so badly.
Let's see. If he gets like 3 more archers, I think it's relatively fine again. Goes for the stable now. Text Witcherino.
Yeah, honestly, if he cleans this entire army up here, he could still be fine, because the Castle Age times will be pretty much even. And if we are going about the knight fight, then this should be better for Nicov, because Liereyy could also consider adding knights, seeing all those skirms.
Liereyy is so low with so many of his units. Crazy stuff there. Skirmishes now fighting uphill. Not the craziest engagement ever, but should just be the perfect counter unit. The 3-man-at-arms still alive. Archer numbers so decimated though. And well, Liereyy, I'm a bit surprised that he tried to go up that hill and not try to run towards his home base.
Yeah, that's weird, especially considering that he has reinforcements coming in. But now the man-at-arms are dead, so all those skirms will have an easy job cleaning up Lierey's army. And as you said, this is a double stable play. Remember that Nicov lost his blacksmith, so he has to rebuild it to even get scabbarding here.
Yeah, and he's building a lot of buildings, right? Double archer range, double blacksmith, double stable, double mining camp, 3 lumber camps already. Like, he's using that Malian wood bonus quite heavily.
Yeah, and the only concern here is that he's not going to have wood for an additional TC, so this might even be a triple stable play here.
Oh no, please no. Please no triple stable. We did see quadruple stable from him last weekend, and that already gave me a headache. And I think he has like 180 gold in the bank. Like 2 stables will be fine.
Yeah, he should be fine with that, and maybe forward Siege Workshop then off. In the meanwhile, Liereyy is also going to add the stable, but this is better for Celts if you ask me, because Celts can add some camels.
Celts can add some camels. We say Malians will add some camels.
Yeah, Malians will add some camels.
Yeah, we aren't expecting too many knights anyway, so I think we will open with some knights here for Nicov, and he should get some reasonable fights there, but already winning skirm by skirm.
Yeah, he's doing fine, but now Nicov is going to have his knights in, its bloodlines, and +1 armor. Nicov getting Boso in just as well, so far he's good with the eco upgrades, something to pay attention for.
Double attack by Liereyy now. Attacks the bottom wood line. How many villagers can he find? Seems like none for now. Didn't really see that he can get some damage there. And sends the knights over. The crossbow at the left-hand side won't find kills either.
Honestly, if we compare the two players, I'm actually starting to like Nikov's position more and more. He's got these skirmishes with +1/+1 that are at least acceptable against crossbows to a certain extent. And then he's gonna have the knights, which are slightly better than the Lierey's knights, even though he's going to lose a fight here pretty badly.
Okay, gets away there. One knight lost. Now the big question is, do you go for the second armor upgrade? Do you go for more knights? He mixes in some camels. I don't really think that's too necessary, but he still has some skirmishes left to deal with the crossbow, so I think it's an okay spot still.
Yeah, but he must not lose all these knights. He's just losing a lot of precious HP. I feel like +2 armor would be pretty important here for Nicov, because that would pretty much make those knights very resistant to the crossbow fire, and then you just have +2 armor, bloodlines, whereas Liereyy is just gonna have +1 armor, no bloodlines.
Look at all those red dots moving forward on the minimap.
Oh,
it's
you have
just a swamp.
Liereyy as red.
I have Liereyy as red, yeah. For me, Nicov is a blue guy. But okay,
Yeah,
like
Nicov plays blue by default. It's just Liereyy playing green.
yeah, I always do friend four colors for colorblind people. Now deleting the mining camp there, tries to take the fight uphill. As you mentioned, +2 still not in there. Snipes some good crossbows away. Skirmisher numbers not too crazy, and it feels like Nicov might be clearing this one up. Even villager mount, and Liereyy needs to micro his heart out.
Yeah, this is actually a good fight for Nicov, even though it would have been way better with +2 armor. Is it a good fight for Nicov? Kind of even, I would say.
Military count is saying 40 to 24, Lidakor. It's not that even anymore.
Yeah, Nicov doesn't have any more knights on the way. Oh boy, maybe that +2 armor missing is the game decider here, because now Nicov is in huge trouble. He just doesn't have any production. He's coming with a mangonel, but Liereyy has knights to snipe mangonels with.
Yeah, and also, like, Liereyy still has the hill advantage there, is pretty active, finds another villager kill, make it 2, and all of a sudden, Liereyy is massively ahead in population. How did we get to this point?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like Nicov had the ingredients, but some small mistakes. Like, also remember that
The seasoning was missing.
2 TCs, Nicov just made the second TC because he went for defensive tower.
What do you think? He had the ingredients, but didn't season properly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crossbow. Now coming over. We'll find another villager kill. What is this? It feels so weird. Is there a waypoint? Misplaced or something? So many villagers going to the outside, going for another farm. Maybe the biggest mangonel shot of all times? No.
I think that they are just going to the farms because those farms are open. And I think the rally point is set on other farms. So the villagers are trying to farm and they're going automatically to the empty farms.
They kind of went outside. I'm really confused.
Maybe he had the rally point set to the outside, like to that wood line. And that's the only way outside right now because the left side is stone walled.
Well, I don't really know. And trying to stabilize in the game is Nicov here. KD is surprisingly even. 3 TCs for either player. Army value completely unfair though. 2.5k to 700. Ballistics only now coming in for Liereyy. It felt like he had ballistics all the whole time.
Yeah, like Nicov has a lot of idle time on those stables as well. He just doesn't have the military, and once he loses that monk, the knights will dive in, snipe the scorpion and the mangonel, and think that is where Nicov is going to lose this game.
Mangonel, 39 HP, no repair coming in there. Knights getting punished by the camels. Very surprising formation there with his crossbows. Okay, now rethinks his choices, tries to find another angle. It feels like he doesn't know that there's another TC out. No, he does not.
Yeah, he has no idea. No conversion there. Liereyy has +1/+1. Nicov just has +1 armor, even though Liereyy is without bloodlines. But Nicov is barely holding here, and like his eco is so messy right now.
Remember that you can't see those farms. That is just a spectating kind of bug. And Liereyy now expanding to some stone at the top. Resources kind of floating here. Goes for more and more knights. A bit surprising to me, honestly. Now dives under the tower.
Yeah, I think Nicov is just in a very bad spot here. His gold mine is exposed, and this is why Liereyy is so amazing. If you look at the eco behind this one, all this pressure, and behind this one, Liereyy has 83 villagers on 3 TCs.
Crazy stuff. 13 ahead. He surely did snipe quite a bit, but Nicov didn't, well, stop producing either. As you can see, both players still some in the queue. Tower getting low HP, but finding a lot of kills against the crossbows here as well. And the Knight's not finishing off the job. The Tower is actually getting quite some kills in.
Yeah, this is kind of a bad fight for Liereyy, but I think he can afford to take this one. He's just doing so much damage to Nicov right now with that.
Yeah, blocking the gold there. He doesn't know that Nicov ever expanded, so he just thinks, okay, I'm blocking those 2 gold spots. Everything is going exactly how I want it. Now goes for the defense upgrade for his Knights even. Interesting to commit that far with Celts not having bloodlines.
Yeah, indeed, but on the other hand, he's got a lot of Knights, so it's somewhat understandable, and it helps when you are fighting around that town center. Also, Liereyy is blocking a lot of farming space, and I think that hurts Nicov a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Now Knight's trying to find another raid at the top. Let's take a look. Crossbows at the bottom. Maybe he tries even to break some walls there. Nicov, instant reaction, but that's still going to be some dead villagers.
Yeah, it's going to be a few dead villagers. Now, Nicov has a counterattack here, so he could technically get into Lierey's base.
But only technically. Not with Liereyy. Instant walling there, and we have no overchop coming there either. Think this shouldn't happen. No. Way too aware.
Yeah. Liereyy is going to lose quite a lot of HP on those Knights on the other hand. He bumped into a few Camels. But Liereyy just has a way better eco behind this one right now.
Did Liereyy build a forward siege workshop in Nikov's face, but didn't build a single unit?
I think so, yes. As Liereyy is just going into Imperial, he's an absolute beast in this game.
Is clearing up the raid at home, just keeps his army alive, and probably wants to make a Harbordier push happen. That's only a second barracks though. Maybe now popping out a Mangonel could be an option. Crossbow, very low in HP. We see Iron Casting coming, 103 villagers against 88, but Nicov just so far away from imping.
Yeah, he's nowhere close. He has 13 army compared to 26. He's behind in every aspect of the game right now.
So much more walls and another barracks there. It feels like Liereyy even building a... What? Where is he moving? What are those villagers up to? I'm a bit surprised. Maybe a misclick there, maybe a misgroup or something.
Like, he's got 18 on stone. Maybe he wanted to make a castle there, but then he changed his mind and he's building it on the gold.
Yeah, way more defensively. That's way safer choice. Maybe feels he's far enough ahead. And, well, if I look at the score, I probably agree with him.
Yeah, I love that he stonewalled himself on the northern part of his base. Because this way, there's basically no chance for Nicov to get any good raids in. And indeed, this is just going to be a hub and probably a ram push here.
Not really getting too much siege out. Maybe waits for Harbordier. Now splits around this one. Mangonel tries to get some kills in. Nicov now jumping before the upgrades are coming in. But is that really the prettiest fight? Mangonel dies. That means the crossbows can still get some kills in against those monks, but not really happening. Knights are moving back. Some kills there against the monks, and Nicov loses all his army.
Yeah, this is like probably one final move, and I'm pretty sure Nicov is just going to call the GG here. Even if he doesn't take this fight, this is pretty much over because he's behind by a bunch of villagers. He's not even close to imping, whereas Liereyy has all the map control. He has multiple defensive castles. Now he's dropping a forward castle. There was just no chance for Nicov to stop this one anymore.
Hi. Where did it all go so wrong? He had solid numbers, both had 2 archery ranges. He did clear up the left-hand side army. What happened?
I think part of this was the very, very open right side that Nicov had, so a lot of farming space was denied, and maybe opening up the walls was the problem. Like, he had to make a defensive tower, for example. Other thing, he lost the archer range, he lost the blacksmith, so he had to invest a lot of wood into new buildings, whereas Liereyy could just drop 2 additional TCs.
Okay. For me, it felt like he never really addressed the archers. Either you go for elite skirmishers, or you go for +2 knights. But he had feudal age skirmishers and +1 knights. Think a bit more of a counter would have been lovely there. Liereyy with a slightly better KD, and economy should be heavily in his favor indeed. 4k, more food, more wood, more stone, more gold. All looks pretty solid. And that's what you said, right? We, like me as the camera guy, only watched the fight at the front. And I saw the micro, the attacks, the raids left and right. But behind this, he had such a crazy economy. And that's exactly what he predicted before we jumped into the game.
Yeah, this is why it's very, very hard for anyone to play against Liereyy, because it's one thing that Liereyy makes miracles happen with his archer micro, but also behind that one, he's got a top 5 macro as well.
Probably, yeah. So am I doing a mistake to someone here? A kindness? I think I will, right? Because someone is just hosting a game 2v2 noobs. Hey, you are playing on an old patch. No new players will come. Make sure to update your AoE 2 DE. Happy smiley.
I'm somewhat impressed by that because, as far as I know, AoE 2 just automatically updates.
I think if you have the Microsoft Store, I wait for my friend.
Oh.
Okay. I just told him I don't want to babysit him too much. I think in the Microsoft Store you have to click it manually or something.
Oh, makes sense.
But he waits for his friend if he wants to play 2v2 noobs. He still won't find opponents. I'm a bit confused. Well, happens. Okay, then let's jump into game number 2. Liereyy, Mongols against Chinese.
Ooh, that's a historical matchup. So, Nicov is playing Chinese on the right side in red with what is an acceptable map, I would say. Definitely better than what he had before. And for Liereyy, where are his wood lines?
I'm fighting with my capture age at the moment. Are you using capture age?
Yep, I am.
Why am I not showing the result here?
Not sure. I know for a fact that you need the exact names of the players, like with tempo as well for Liereyy, but I'm not actually playing around with the score right now because I'm not streaming.
Liereyy, Nicov. Well, helped. Maybe just adding the clan tag was needed.
Yeah, I think you need the exact username of the player.
Okay. Well, it was weird. I thought it showed the result earlier. Well,
I just want to point out that Liereyy did not lose a single HP on the villager that was luring in the elephant. That was majestic. He had 2 sheep close to that elephant. So while he was bringing in the elephant, he was just using one of the sheep to always block the elephant. So he just lost 7 HP on one of the villagers that was right by the town center. But on the luring villager, he lost 0 HP.
Okay. Majestic, you say. I like that word. And yeah, it feels a bit like an unnecessary move, but it's just like feeling how well are you doing in the game and just pressing a very small edge that probably doesn't matter too much, right? Because that villager will still have like 30 HP after loom.
Yeah, exactly. This is just some minor things, but doesn't really matter that much.
Oh.
Nicov brings in both of his elephants fast.
And yeah, he was obviously scared of the laming of the Mongol player, but Liereyy will actually play a Drush here with Mongols, something we don't see too often.
Interesting. It has to be Drush flush because this base is way too open for a Drush FC.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either. So he's now pushing a Zebra. A bit surprised. Is he now moving forward, or what's the plan here? He did scout quite a bit earlier, so only pushed one of them. Militia now coming out. Is actually only queuing 2. Could go for the third one. Now the mill as well. on the other side, Nicov is walling quite a bit. Already got Loom, being Chinese.
Yeah, that's super helpful. One of the reasons why I really like Chinese here, especially against a player like Liereyy that will try to snipe the villager if he's getting an opportunity, is that you just have Loom implemented in your build at very, very early, so there is very small chance that you're going to lose a villager to a potential lane with the scout or so.
Oh, and it's so weird. It rushes simply so unexpected from a Mongol player that Nicov, yeah, he did build some walls, but never really thought of it, and is now trading off HP pretty happily against the Mongol player Scout v Scout.
Yeah, right now, indeed, he's even pulling a villager to take that fight, but he's not expecting the militias, and you can't blame Nicov for this, because he did scout the base of Liereyy, but he didn't see the barracks.
Yeah, well, he did scout it pretty late, right? He never scouted the mill, so he was just there to lame and then went back. Now sees 3 militia is moving out, and that's not the prettiest one for him. Luckily enough, that's pretty close to his CC.
Yeah, he's very lucky with that. Interesting is that Nicov actually is missing the barracks by a tile, so he got pretty unlucky with that.
I think he scouted way before the barracks was even built. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, because even if he scouted after, he wouldn't see the barracks, I think.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now mining camp cancelled here. Villager on the outside. Not too happy with what he is doing. Not really sure why we are pausing here. Nicov, well, that's a moment where a pause comes in very handy for him. Just trying to reset and thinking about, okay, what am I doing now?
Well, apparently he wanted to play archers here. He might actually have to play scouts, because I don't see him stopping this Drush with skirms easily, especially that Liereyy could just go for Man-at-Arms upgrade if he still has the HP when he is up to feudal, and just do the exact same thing that he did before.
Okay. I think Mongols want to be really creative here. Archer, fewer skirms maybe. Mangodai obviously is something very long-term, but not really the greatest thing against Chinese necessarily. I still have no idea how Nicov is trying to transition out of this. Is this maybe now trying to go for scouts?
Yeah, I think so. If he wants to go for scouts, though, he needs a barracks, like right now, and he's trying to get to a secondary wood line, but he was denied from that.
Oh, he gives up. Nicov builds 3 farms in Dark Age before Horse Color. No barracks. Now builds 1. Oh, God.
Yeah, but he's not gonna have the wood for an archer range or a stable or anything.
Now goes for a wild lumber camp here at the top as well. Oh, this is not pretty.
Yeah, this is looking very, very rough for Nicov right now. So, even this Drush didn't kill a single villager, but it just absolutely messed up Nikov's eco. He's even housed. Oh, things are falling apart here for Nicov rather fast. And as I said, if those militias are still full HP in a minute or so, Liereyy is going to grab the Man-at-Arms upgrade for them.
My chat just asked, do you consider Viper German? Well, if there is a $100,000 Nations Cup tournament, then yes. If there is a German championship, 1v1, then no.
And it appears that Nicov will try to bring in a spearman to finish off Lierey's scout. Nice micro from Liereyy once again. So Nicov doesn't have the berries. At least he can get the gold mine back, so he will actually go for a few archers. But once again, he doesn't open with an archer, just goes for skirms.
Yeah, that was actually the series before, right? But yeah, that's what we questioned. Who was it? Stogao, right? Went for way more skirms than what we wanted to see. Lots of villagers being sent forward. Is that a douche or what is he doing? How was he sending 8 villagers forward? Now it's quote-unquote only 5.
Yeah, I think he wants Drush. I think he thinks that this is Drush FC, and in fact it is.
Archer range now being built. And 5 on gold. No eco upgrades. So indeed he wants to go to Castle Age. Still open there at the right hand side. Now the blacksmith being built. Nicov not really seeing that Liereyy is still open at the side. We'll try to break the front. Well, will be ugly for him.
Yeah, he's trying to tower the barriers just like he needs to. But I feel like this is a little bit too late because right now, Liereyy, even if he's in trouble, he can just rush up a market and buy 100 food to click up. So I think that by the time this tower goes up, Liereyy is probably on the way towards castle.
Tricky situation for Nicov, and well, surely not great to have 2 games that kind of went out of your control quite quickly. Well, he's still trying to pressure the front, but Liereyy, he will just be happy. Take the rest of the berries and run to your TC. Can click up to Castle Edge, and then you don't need that big of amount of farmers if you just go for archers anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You can just secure some foothold with the crossbows and then forward siege workshop, and Liereyy is not gonna be stopped with that. His Drush finally gets cleaned up, but this is 15 minutes into the game.
Oh, they were so annoying. Forced a horrible lumber camp, forced a deletion on the mining camp, forced some farms to be planted that didn't have horse color. So technically we see 0 kills there, but the amount of HP or like resource kills is really high.
Yeah, the idle time, all the mess that it created is just huge. I'm somewhat surprised that Liereyy is not considering a stable here because, I mean, Nicov is wide open. Just one stable for 2 or 3 nights could be super helpful.
Well, it's simply tougher to transition to them, right? And, oh god, another gate there. Walls this one off, and he just feels, okay, I get to 5 crossbow, I win the game. Knights can be walled off. Knights can be easily countered by spearmen. But once you get crossbow against a feudal age army, like, it's so easy for you to take good fights.
Yeah, indeed, it actually is way better at killing villagers as well. It appears Liereyy is gonna move forward for now. Nicov sends a few villagers back home, so he somewhat gives up on this, picks off 1 will.
Still tries to fight down the front. Now loops around with 4 archers. Interesting amount. I think most of the time people are sending around 5 crossbows, right? Sends 1 back, wants to defend here. Only 1 archer range for now. Not really the kind of player that loves to build defensive towers as Liereyy.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think that he has to be super afraid of that army because it's just 4 archers and he can make his own crossbows very soon. But Nicov, on the other hand, is fully walled.
Rushes out the TC now. Villager still blocking. Oh, what is happening here? He deletes 2 villagers. He deletes 2 villagers to build the TC faster. What did we just witness?
But he's losing so many villagers here, and he's not gonna do anything with those crossbows unless Nicov allows him to run past the TC. Nicov isn't reacting. Nicov isn't reacting to the crossbows. This might be the game here.
Oh god, yeah. He is too focused on the other side for sure. And yeah, villager count now is 23 to 39, but still 4 crossbow in the base. Did Liereyy not scout?
If those crossbows don't get in, I feel like then Nicov might have even had the advantage in this game.
I think so as well. And like Liereyy still didn't see the woodline at the front, which is actually pretty fortunate for Nicov.
Yeah, now Nicov doesn't have any gold income. He can make a few skirms and clean this one up. But yeah, look at the eco once again for Nicov, and Liereyy is going to be a 2 TC, so he can catch up in villager count.
Well, it's not going to be that easy, right? He has 6 on food at the moment. He only has 25 villagers. It's not that easy to boom with 25 villagers.
Yeah, but Nikov's eco is also very messy right now. 10 kills for Nicov, 3 deaths only, so technically he has done a decent job taking good fights, and he's gonna have a safe gold mine out on the outside. Something that Liereyy does see, but he cannot. He can actually get there.
I think
By the way, Nicov didn't scout that hole on the wood line. And Liereyy does know about it.
Let me take a look. Crossbows now at the front. Let's take a look. How he's trying to micro that one. Not going to be too easy while we see some army going down at the front. And Liereyy with a surprising amount of score lead. I think that's even... Can't the crossbow go through there? Between the house and the gold mine? I thought so. But yeah, Nicov will clean this one up. Nice market.
Yes, he traps that army beautifully, but he loses 3 villagers on the front line, so he had the stone miners there, he lost 3 of them. And, I mean, Nicov is still very far away from Castle Age. Castle Age is 150 seconds, which is, 6 villagers of time. So pretty much by the time Nicov gets into Castle Age, Liereyy is gonna have the same villager count.
150. That's 6 villages. Yeah. True. 2.5 minutes. Yeah. Just like weird that my brain just froze. Okay, now cleared up the tower at the front. Probably wants to go back to his berries, but I want to see some more walls. Not sure what the crossbows are going to achieve. Nicov should take reasonable fights, and his economy should just be so much better.
Now, it's still +1/+1 skirms against the crossbows, and Nicov specifically said that when I was talking to him that basically the story was that in Red Bull Volo 2 qualifiers, I went for a Saracen pretty much fast castle crossbow play, and when we analyzed that rec, he said, you know, against just Botkin arrow crossbows, the +1/+1 skirms are acceptable, and that's what we are seeing here from Nicov.
Especially if Liereyy just continues to lose villagers at his berries there as well. Pretty sloppy play at the moment. Only 4 crossbows on the field. Didn't do the greatest job of controlling them at all times.
Yeah, like, he's not really using the range advantage that he's having, and at the end of the day, those skirms are really paying for their price. Liereyy has to add more farms, but still, it's 2 TCs versus 1, but no horse color for Liereyy, no boso, so he doesn't really capitalize a lot on his Castle Age advantage here.
Neither player with the farm upgrades. We have Nicov on top of his 7 villager lead with Wheelbarrow as well. We'll get into quite some defense now. Needs to protect his villagers at the front. Lierey's trying to go the long way around. Not sure if he will find more than the 2 villager kills at the stone. Archer range number 3 now by Nicov. Oi.
Yeah, this looks like a very, very heavy commitment towards the Castle Age push. On the other hand, Liereyy isn't really massing a lot of army, and I can see Nicov being able to play this one out with a very aggressive play. Did I hear a stable from one of the players?
You heard correctly. Liereyy building 1 at home, so wants to deal with the skirmishes, something that you suggested earlier, and he listened. More army being sent over. Nicov, he is doing a good job of anticipating the raids of Liereyy.
Yeah, so far he's doing an excellent job. He's got an outpost, even though I think he's missing Town Watch, so he doesn't have perfect vision, but he assumes that the crossbows are going that way, and unless he loses villagers here, he could clean those crossbows up as well. And he has enough archers to deal with a few knights that do not have even Okay, now they have +1 armor, so it might not be that easy.
Yeah, 2 knights. Oh, what do we have? In the group at the front, we see 5 archers. Not all of them full HP. Some skirms still running around. And Nicov kind of lost track of those crossbows at the top. Maybe wants to find a timing where he attacks at the front and then moves in at the top again.
Yeah, he's just looking for those crossbows on the left side and tries to counterattack on the right. He's going to miss Lierey's armies completely, and that is 2 villagers being pulled.
Directly in the center. He had an army left, an army right, and the army of Liereyy just goes through the center. Oh, that could be so ugly. I think he can just move into the woodline now. Goes for the top attack. Now through the center. Oh, this is such an unfortunate thing for Nicov.
Yeah, he's got some skirms here to defend. Immediately lead skirm, and he is gonna get a siege workshop up. The knight passes the villagers right in the middle.
Okay. Oh, that is so hectic. This is so hectic. The game makes or breaks you here. Nicov has so much army that he can't really use.
Yeah, he's just so exposed back at home as the crossbows and knights will bash their way through the walls. He's got a huge amount of idols, 20 idols right now for Nicov.
And Liereyy is...
no defense against the knights.
Liereyy all of a sudden is 7 villages ahead. Still Wheelbarrow behind. Now rushes out a defensive. TC himself. Nice quick gate against that. Oh, 2 quick gates even against it.
Yeah, Nicov accidentally sends back all the villagers as well. He sent the skirms back, but I think accidentally selected the villagers as well. So there is a half finished siege workshop on the front line.
Okay, at least the TC goes up without massive amount of villager losses and didn't have to delete any of his own villagers to build the TC. So that's a win. But Liereyy behind this is Sunday 10 villagers there. I have no idea how that happened.
Well, it's still 2 TCs for Liereyy for quite a lot of time. now has Horse Collar and double bit axe, but no Boso for either player. And Nicov just kind of aborted that siege workshop.
It feels like Liereyy wants to run away with his knights there. Sees that it's still no ballistics of his opponent. Might get away with the crossbows. What is happening here? The positioning feels so weird. While he gets more kills at the front, Nicov really struggling to get to wood control.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of wood control right now. He just has one reasonable wood line to work with. And that opening right next to his TC is hurting him so much.
Another group of knights is coming in. Finding a kill. Now the raid at the gold. Nicov reacts instantly. Crossbow at the top. Still not found. Oh, and the skirms in the center. They are found. Oh god, Liereyy just so active on the map. And just feels like he gets so many small victories.
Yeah, indeed. And it's all the idle time that is being forced on Nicov. Basically, ever since the Drush, it was all about the idle time on Nikov's eco. It's just raids left, raids right. And Nicov just cannot catch a breath.
Okay, villagers now going back to the woodline at the top, but that is the exact moment where 8 crossbows are knocking at that woodline again, and that's just so ugly for Nicov. The moment he wants to get onto more wood, he gets raided again.
Yeah, I feel like Nicov is one of those players that actually gets quite nerfed by this Arabia, because Nicov is definitely one of the more macro-orientated players, so such an open Arabia hurts him quite badly, I think.
Okay, well...
That being said, it's just a 5 villagers difference now.
In the interview of Dogao, who just won his set, he said that he trained a lot against Nicov and said the moment Nicov plays like he did play in practice, he beats Liereyy quite convincingly. Well, let's see if that's happening. Skirmishes now finally finding this round and finally ending the story of those crossbowmen. Has to be pretty happy with that one. Those boys were so annoying. Villager count relatively even. Knights active on the map and trying to find another angle is Liereyy at the right hand side.
Yeah, there's still a hole on that wood line that Nicov now sees but didn't actually fix. On the other hand, if he just moves forward with all those crossbows, he could do a lot of damage to Lierey's eco. Oh no, don't tell me that he's gonna let the knights in.
Well, even if he lets them in, the TC is next to it, right? So it's not the worst thing ever. What? Actually, well, if they can go to the top, find some villagers there. Okay, that's way worse than what I expected.
Yeah, that's a disaster, basically. This could have been avoided. I mean, the crossbows are annoying, but if he just has a few skirms inside and he has that walled off, he should have been fine. Right now, it's knights rampaging his eco.
And meanwhile... Knights defending as well. TC not really helping out. 3 knights trying to regroup. But this is so ugly. Again, 40 idle villagers out of 66.
Yeah, I think Nicov is trying to come back in this one, but he's just falling more and more behind. Every good move that he makes, Liereyy has 2 good moves to counter that.
Oh, that's a nice way of looking at it. Mangonel now trying to be the second move here, while the first nice move was already the knights, so neither of that is... Oh, the Mangonel is not really needed. All of a sudden, military count still looks heavily in favor of Nicov, but feels like he can't really use it at the moment.
Yeah, and his eco is just so messy. Although... if he adds a few more crossbows, he could actually be decently positioned against those knights, but he needs something to deal with those knights because most of his army is skirms. And also he needs to fix his eco, like, ASAP.
Well, not easier said than done, surely. 2 TCs at the moment against the 3 TCs of Liereyy, who is just running away. Tries to pull Nicov out of position again while he moves in with the knights at the front. Only some crossbows trying to run away. And just felt like Nicov never really got a time to breathe here and try to set up his base.
Yeah, he's getting raided constantly by Liereyy, and when I saw Doubt beating Liereyy, the main thing I said about it was that I think that Voz was extremely important for Doubt, because that just basically limited Lierey's chances of doing any counterattack, and right now that is... not happening here for Nicov. He's getting raided left and right.
So tricky. Now Bolts is stable. Probably wants to go for some camels here. Finally will deal with all those knights. Liereyy is still sitting at 4 stables. Solid knight production, as you can see.
Overchop on the right. It's an overchop.
Oh god, and the knights are back in, and that is so annoying. Oh god, I feel with Nicov so much.
Yeah, like, despite the fact that he took very, very bad hits multiple times in this game, he could have come back, but it's always just one hole, one small mistake, and Liereyy is just able to pick off 10 villagers as the result.
And now Mangonel moving forward as well. Look at that production. 9 villages in the queue. We will soon have 18 knights. Liereyy only missing the second wood upgrade, but look at that. Nicov not having a single castle age upgrade either. Now goes for some knights here. Probably wants to snipe the Mangonel first. And Liereyy, he will be back with another raid at the right-hand side pretty soon.
Liereyy also has 44 villagers on foot, so he could go Imperial anytime he wants if he stops producing villagers. He's got 10 on stone, so...
Oh, Mangonel shot trooping so big! Crossbows are so clumped up here. Hallelujah. And, oh god,
boy.
the second volley. And what? Nicov is not reacting at all. What is happening? Where is he watching? I think Liereyy is pausing because he thinks Nicov dropped. Honestly.
Yeah. I think so as well.
I think Nicov dropped. Is he producing? Look at that. He's only producing one knight. 72%. This is very likely that Nicov dropped here.
Yeah, both of the TCs are idle. He's got a lot of idle villagers as well. I mean, he had some issues, but yeah, I think that after the first hit, he realizes that there is something Nicov probably indeed dropped. And that hurts so badly because it kind of depends on where the save was created. If Liereyy notices this right now, the save will be created here, and then it's basically GG because all those crossbows are dead.
Yeah. Sometimes you can replay from the time when Nicov actually dropped, if he can restore. But Lierey's restore obviously won't help. The game is over. At Lierey's point of the game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, especially considering that even if they start it, there is a Mangonel right next to the crossbows once again, so there is at least one more shot coming out of that.
Yeah. The army is just falling. Knights are there as well. And people are saying, oh, the game is over. Well, you have to look at the game like 3 Mangonel shots and 30 seconds of more micro and macro of Nicov ahead, right? So he gets 2 more knights before the engagement starts. He can send the knights out to kill the Mangonel as well. So everything goes differently in the last 30 seconds. And yeah, Nicov is still behind, but it's far from over in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he would have had 30, 40 crossbows, and if he gets a few camels out to deal with the knights, suddenly Nicov could have had a chance to push Liereyy, because Liereyy, even right now, Liereyy is behind in army. And this is after 20 crossbows were killed by Mangonels.
So I think this is the moment where we either get informed in the official chat here. What? Okay. Am I confused? No.
You will see the end of the game sign, even if they restore.
Okay, let's take a look. I think this is the moment where we take a look at Mem's stream and see what he has to say.
Krasini says it's a drop and give him a moment.
Okay.
He's a hater, man.
Okay, so we will wait for a decision there. I think it makes sense. Like, if we can restore Nikov's, then I think we should restore Nikov's POV. Or, like, Nikov's save. If we can't, then I actually think a regame makes sense.
Oh, that's so hard. Like, every time I see such a thing, I'm just like, okay, thank God I'm not the host of this tournament and I have to make this decision.
Yeah. It is so ugly. It is surely so ugly. Oh, man. Where did Krasini say that?
The Broadcaster's Discord general.
Broadcaster Discord channel. Okay, I only looked at live games. So they're trying to figure it out. I think before the engagement, it was looking good for Liereyy. I think it's like 80% Liereyy wins this game, 20% Nicov. But I think that is, in my opinion, not decisive enough to give him the win.
Yeah, like, I also agree that I don't think that justifies giving him the win. On the other hand, he can just say that, like, he did his best to, restore it. And like the only restore file that they appear to have is going to be Lierey's one. It's very hard. Yeah, honestly, the reason why a regame might be justified here is because it's a very important series. Liereyy had the lead, but on the other hand, he gave the decisive advantage by having Nicov dropped.
Someone asked me, Nili, what would you do if it was at NAC? Well, NAC, they're sitting next to each other. If someone drops, you just instantly pause, right? So there's no lost time. So it's an easy restore at NAC. Even if it's 99%, I will, unless the guy gives up, I will let them restore if he thinks he has 1% winning chance.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of your Red Bull series, you had your opponent drop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that game. You had your opponent drop, and you actually had a successful defense, but then the restore was created from his point.
Yeah.
And then when he microed his units, you lost.
I killed it. Like, he was going an all-in castle push. I converted 4 elephants, traded my mangonel 2 for 1, and I was like, holy moly, I'm 3 TCs, I just hold, and I'm ahead in this game. And then we restore, he pulls his elephant back, kills my monks, and it's GG in 30 seconds. Felt nearly, man.
Yeah, it turns out it's much easier to micro against units that aren't moving.
Yeah. I actually had a game that was in my days when I made troll challenges, and I had a challenge I was not allowed to micro at all. So it's only like clicking a unit at a point and then it has to fight on its own. And I had one micro that killed 3 other mangonels without dying. And then killed 5 crossbows or something. It was like one of the craziest. I don't even remember. Like, I might find that clip at one point. But like, I couldn't believe I could not have microed it better myself. But it always got aggroed and then ran away, got some shots, and then some big bada booms. Oh, now I kind of want to find it. Let me see if I can. Brag of the day, nearly. Oh, I think nearly no micro will find too many hits.
No information just yet from the admin side. So we don't know what's up. I think Ashley said that Nicov crashed to the desktop. So I am pretty sure Nicov doesn't have his own save game.
Yeah. Well, for everyone who said it's GG, I disagree with you. You probably saw the moment where the game basically ends and the game continues 30 seconds after Liereyy drops. So the engagement completely goes differently, right?
Yeah, I think that at that situation, as you said, it's probably 80-20 to Liereyy, but after the drop, it was like 5-95.
Higher. Like, he lost all his army.
I think he still had a few crossbows, but yeah, you are probably right. Like,
and the knights are kissing him. There's still a mangonel. Liereyy is 22 villages ahead or something. The moment at the drop, it's 1%. Or yeah, maybe even less, honestly.
Oh, this is very, very hard to make a decision on, but you might be right. I think that this is an important series. If this was group stage, maybe they don't rematch, but I think here let's be honest. If you want to be in the quarterfinals, you have to be able to beat your opponent. And yes, Liereyy was ahead, but if he wants to be in the quarterfinals, he needs to like be consistent and beat his opponent once again. So I feel like to avoid any controversy, it's better to get a rematch and have a fair fight, even though right now it would be a little bit more unfair against Liereyy.
To avoid controversy doesn't work, right? It's impossible to have a fair outcome if you can't restore at the exact moment he drops.
There is no AoE zone drama post just yet, but I will keep you updated on this.
Yeah, I have so many people blocked now on AoE zone that I only see like a third of all topics now. So they're in the game. I already like that Nicov is not giving up that game.
Is he?
No, I don't think he is. I like that I like that we don't have the confirmation that Nicov just said, okay, 2-0 Liereyy.
Yeah, true. I was also thinking the same thing, that the fact that Krasini's and Ashley is saying that we're waiting on an admin decision implies that this is not going to be as easily settled as, okay, GG and 2-0.
Remember that everyone who wants to get more entertained, after the series is over, we will have Doubt versus Viper in an AoE 2 quiz guessing game. That's going to be lovely for your evening. And it seems like... No, we're still in the lobby there. I will take a quick bathroom break.
Okay.
Liereyy, you can do Q&A or whatever. Just talk. Be entertaining.
We have an admin decision right now. I think Nile already had his headphones dropped, but this is official now. Unfortunately, we had a drop. Nicov forfeits and gives the win to Liereyy. Game 3 will start in a moment. So, yeah, you can have your Q&A time right now, but this is a forfeit from Nicov. This is the official message from Krasini on the matter. So this is 2-0 for Liereyy. A little bit unfortunate because, as I said, it's very hard. On one end, if you replay this is unfair to Liereyy, who played very good. On the other end, if we don't replay this, it's very unfair to Nicov, who still had a very good army, and if he wins that fight, and he had the chance to win that fight, he could have potentially made even. So yeah, this is my Q&A now, indeed. I just took over Nila's channel. So you can have your questions right now while Nila is still around.
By the way, I just realized telling someone be entertaining is one of the worst things to do, right? Because you're giving them nothing and just put so much pressure. And oh boy, what's the decision? Because we are going into game number 3, so I assume 2-0?
Yes, like right when you took off your headphones, Krasini posted that Nicov forfeited his game 2, and game 3 will start. So it's 2-0 for Liereyy.
Okay, then we have to take that one. Not the prettiest thing ever, but I think another guy with a different fighting spirit or a different adjustment to the situation might have asked for a replay there.
Yeah, this is very, very rough, to be honest. And we talked a lot about Nikov's like mental state going into this one. This is absolutely like shattering his morale. I would be very, very tilted if this happened to me. And overall, Nicov is very unlucky with his game, basically, in this tournament. Like, do you remember the wood bug that Nicov had in one of his series, I think, against Doubt?
Wood bug? No, what happened there?
Basically what happened is that he walled his villagers in on the wood line.
Yeah.
And the villagers chopped 10 wood, went back to the lumber camp, and was idle. So he had to manually retest them.
Yeah, that was ugly. Yeah, I agree.
And he basically lost the game because he didn't have wood income in the first few minutes of the game. I talked to him after, and it actually was a wood bug. I rewatched the rec as well.
Oh god. Yeah. Ay. This game can be brutal, and that's why you see, for example, people like Viper, Ryu, Terra constantly spamming their Lumbercamp hotkey as well, to just jump in, check all the time the villagers, and really see, are they constantly working.
Yeah, like, and that doesn't really help Nicov, who probably is already very, very nervous from the tournament pressure. Now this happens, so let's see what he can do in game number 3.
Yeah, actually, Nicov shouldn't decide, indeed. Like, well, in some form he can decide, right? If an admin says, okay, let's restart, and then he says, no, I don't want to restart, then I think that is Nikov's decision. Nikov's decision is never to force a restart, though.
Yeah,
that's
honestly,
how I see it.
We are not sure if he was even offered the chance to replay the entire game, or he was just offered to, okay, restore the game, or just play a new one, like game 3.
Also, an option is to just play... no, that doesn't really work, right? To play just game 3 and 4? No, that shouldn't really be a thing.
No, because, like, it matters, like, you can just say that, okay, we're gonna play game 3 and 4, and if it's an even game, then we will play a replay. Because, once again, that would hit Liereyy.
Yeah, also, like, if you force, like, let's say, Liereyy to play more games than he needs to show more strategies for a reason that, like, he's not responsible for. By the way, he is going for a Drush as Khmer, and we didn't really talk about this matchup a lot. Indians, not seen often, draft in the pick 5-6 region quite often, but yeah, what should we expect here?
Yeah, they have only been played 4 times in this entire tournament, so I'm not sure what to think about that. I feel like they just have a significant weakness in terms of not having knights. And also, the only time they played against Khmer, they lost, but that is just not a big enough sample size.
Okay, now one wood line here. It will be a Drush to start things off for Liereyy. Then the question is he going for archers behind this one? Scout's not really a natural choice. And, well, he is annoying. Nicov sees the barracks, and no, he don't. What? He did not see the barracks, but still watched his woodline in the back.
Yeah, like he is just missing that specific tile on the barracks. He scouted everything at Liereyy's base. Oh, he might actually pick off a villager here.
Okay, he saw the 3 militia apparently. Oh yeah, that could be lovely. Let's take a look. 13 HP. No, it does not commit.
Yeah, I feel like he just wants to play super safe. This is what I referred to when I said that he's definitely a safe player and he doesn't have the other woodline walled.
But why? How can you call him the safe player and he's not walled at that woodline? Oh, Liereyy not going for the super crazy micro nerd moves. Didn't try to jump on one villager.
Now, do I have a feeling that Liereyy didn't have all his sheep gathered? Because he feels pretty low on sheep, isn't he?
Well, he is relatively late, right? Just think about it. He's at pop 27 now. Normally, if you think, okay, he's about to click feudal age, it's more pop 22-ish.
Oh yeah, so he's indeed at 24.
Yeah, 24 villagers, so normally it's like 3 villagers earlier, so he had 1.5 minutes more of getting sheep, and he still has 2 goats, so I think he has everything.
Yeah, indeed, you're right about that. And this is a scout play from Nicov. I have a feeling that this could actually be useful for Nicov here, because this might be the first game where Liereyy doesn't really have a super safe base. He's trying to wall, but it's going to take forever for him to finish these walls.
Okay, he will indeed go wild on the right-hand side here. Left-hand side being walled as well, and I think he's doing an okay job. The moment the scouts are trying to fight against the Drush, I think Liereyy will get his walls up. But yeah, Nicov just goes to the other side. He is safe enough.
Yeah, Nicov is definitely safe enough, and he can try picking off like walling villagers. Liereyy indeed just committing everything to those walls, but still that right side is super, super open.
But let's see if he quick walls the center, then he will get at least that confirmation. Indeed, not seeing the scouts. Sends another villager at the right hand side. Oh, will he make it? You say no, right?
I don't think these walls can be finished. Maybe with gates, but I don't think this is enough. Here come the scouts.
Oh, I see 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. Housed. Oh, Liereyy.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, like, Nicov stopped producing scouts for a brief amount of time, and I thought that he believes that Liereyy is fully void. Now he knows Liereyy is fully void, so he can just stop producing scouts here because those will not really get inside.
Well, he just finished another one, so wants to go for 3 at least. We now have Liereyy going for the archer range, so that's going to be full archer play. Nicov, well, seems very likely that he will have to add an archer range to go for some skirmishes.
Yeah, he will probably have to. And the Camel eco behind this one is going to be absolutely amazing, whereas for Nicov, his eco bonus isn't super wonderful.
Okay, did we have? Yeah, we got the farm upgrade there. He will play with only 1 archer range. Now the militia are trading off. If he finds a single kill, that's good enough for him.
Yeah, absolutely. He already weakened those scouts quite heavily, so I think he can be happy. One thing for Liereyy is that he doesn't have any more scouting information, and it appears that Nicov wants to commit to Skirm and Scout here.
What is the best matchup Indians could get to? Hunts?
In this Civ matchup, you mean?
Let's take a quick look at the draft. Like, Indians against what is good? Mongols, maybe? They're not great against Vikings. Not great against Lithuanians. Not great against Slavs.
Yeah, I guess Mongols.
Yeah.
But are they great against Mongols? I mean, Mongols can just play archers pretty nicely, and Indians aren't great against archer civs at all. I think Slavs is actually the best bet. I think they could be okay against Slavs in, like, mid-Castle Age.
Really? I think, like, Pike ram push into half Pike half ram push, you have no answer.
Yeah, true. It's very hard. I feel like Indians are massively overrated in 1v1. They are one of the best team game saves, but quite poor, I think, in 1v1.
They won Mono Civ Cup. So the tournament where you only were allowed to play 1 single civilization for the whole tournament. And
yeah, but who was handling them?
Does that really matter?
It does. Okay. By the way, Nicov didn't find 2 of his sheep, so he's just finding them. I also heard the town bell somewhere.
Yeah, before wheelbarrow though, so that was not to avoid the bug. Now, Spearman moving out. That's a bit surprising to me. Just randomly tries to find some more kills. By the way, we went up to 6 scouts in total here for Nicov. Although he scouted that Liereyy was completely walled when he only had 2 scouts.
Overinvestment by far. Look at Liereyy. Liereyy is playing super greedy here, just massing archers on 1 range, and he's almost up to Castle Age in terms of resources. Whereas for Nicov, if he didn't add 3 more scouts here, he would pretty much be comparable in resources.
Okay. Well, let's see. What's Lierey's next step? Has solid amount of archers out already. 2 in the back, 6 in the archer range, and yeah, just will easily snipe that one down. Doesn't even wait for fletching. Has the blacksmith there. And what is it going to be? A stable edition? Another archer range? Okay, we already get the answer.
Yeah, I think just a stable and then potentially forward siege workshop as well. Whereas for Nicov, I don't know. How would you feel about the Cav Archer transition for Nicov here?
Well, on Woobly, I like it. Here, probably not really playable. They're simply too bad at the moment. And Nicov, like, it's so easy to get annoyed and tilted by CA as well. Yeah.
Okay, so Nikov's castle age time isn't that bad at the end of the day, and he is going to be double stable, so Camels, I assume?
Well, seems like it, right? But how well will they do against the crossbows? And indeed, it is the second archery range, so a bit surprising that Liereyy did go stable and then archery range. Maybe even mixes in 1-2 elephants.
Yeah, I think he just wants something that can kill mangonels, just to make sure his crossbows are safe. But yeah, the camels are going to kind of struggle against the crossbows. Even with +2 armor, they would have 3 pierce armor, but their base attack is so small that they just can't kill crossbows fast enough.
Yeah, potentially the big problem with camels in this matchup, or against crossbows in general. Let's take a look now. Liereyy doesn't even want to deal with that, goes for the counter attack again, doesn't even bother to re-wall behind this one, is hungry to get a kill. And honestly, with how I look at Nico's base here at the front, it feels so much like a hole at some spots. So hilly.
Yeah, the elevation is making it very hard. I'm not sure if there is a hole or not.
I don't think there is one.
Crossbows can get through that rather easily. Now, Camel and Skirm could work, or Camel Lead Skirm could work for Nicov, but he doesn't really have good Skirm numbers.
Okay, chain butting armor is now coming in. Crossbow, they will break through here. Should only be one layer indeed. Nicov is going through there quite nicely. Even stands on the hill while shooting. And now rushing out a siege workshop. But honestly, Liereyy will just get through there so quickly.
Yeah, he's very, very fast. Here, nice contingency walls from Nicov. And he gets the siege workshop up.
Okay, let's take a look. 300 HP on that stone wall. And the crossbow's trying to make something happen. Another mangonel is coming over. Does he really want to chill there? That's such a risky move.
Yeah, this is very dangerous from Liereyy here. On the other hand, that wall is getting weaker and weaker.
100 HP. Crossbow, they know, okay, mangonel can pop out any second now. Wants to block some more farms. The moment he runs through, I think the mangonel should pop out. 2 knights around there, and now goes through. This is so risky by Liereyy.
Yeah, this is very, very risky. But no risk it, no biscuit, right?
That's what I always used to say. Well, okay, let's take a look. Mangonel goes for the shot. Not really. Camel's intercepting the knights quite nicely. Mangonel's still at 30 HP. Dodged there. Oh god, that was so good for Liereyy. Oh god, is that fight good for him.
Yeah, it was a very, very good one. On the other hand, Camels do have a 3 pierce armor here. So they might actually be able to squeeze out a victory here, but this is not efficient for Nicov.
No. That was at home with the mangonel, delayed so much, and yeah, he's always winning this fight. That was never the question, but Liereyy got so much value out of it.
And behind this one, once again, Lierey's macro is great. He's got 2 TCs running, he's got 2 Voyager's Advantage, although doesn't have the Castle Age eco upgrades, so his eco isn't that super great, but he's getting more crossbows up, and Nicov already struggled to deal with those in the first place. I think that Nicov needs to invest into forging at least, because it would help immensely to have 7 attack instead of 6 when you're trying to deal with those crossbows.
No, I just did the small mistake, right? I was so focused on casting the whole time, and then I read a small paragraph in my chat, and someone just saying something stupid. Sorry, okay, I'm back at it again. And yeah, okay, Crossbow moving out by Liereyy here. He, at the moment, is not going for too much army. And now the third TC, is he already sitting back here? Does he think he did enough damage?
Yeah, Liereyy is playing very, very defensive in this game, and you can't really do that. Like, in late Castle Age, if Liereyy doesn't add something against those camels, like pikes, if he doesn't have a lot of crossbows, he's just going to die to the camels, and camels are great at destroying buildings, so... Or at least Indian camels are. So, Indians could snowball a game very fast if Nicov goes for a Castle Age all-in here.
Okay, he's playing with 3 TCs, so no all-in at least for the first step. Still full crossbow for Liereyy. He has 1 barracks. I think it wouldn't be the weirdest choice to go for pikemen.
Yeah, right now he's just sitting at the double ranges, massing more and more crossbows, and he's on 3 TCs. Nicov has caught up quite nicely, and it helps quite a bit when you're trying to boom that you have cheaper villagers.
Scum's moving in. So the question is now, Nicov, you did mention the possibility of Castle Age all in. He keeps producing camels, but he also keeps producing out of 3 TC. So I feel like there is no all in coming. And then the big question is, what are our army compositions? And typically, Indians suffer a lot against mass pikeman siege all-ins.
Yeah, they do. They technically they have their hand cannons to deal with that, so I think Camel hand cannon can work, but it's a very tough matchup and kind of depends on the execution. Forward siege workshop on the way, so it's pretty much Camel and Mangonel. And honestly, I'm not sure if Liereyy is going to be able to defend against this one if there is like 2 Mangonels.
Oh, he needs to get his Mangonels himself, but hill advantage seems to be a bit better for Nicov if he wants to knock the front down there. Crossbow numbers looking pretty solid, very healthy as well. And yeah, it's Liereyy simply going for Mangonel crossbow villager only, while we, on the other side you see, well, the Camel Mangonel mix. Now a monastery, not really sure how important that's going to be. Probably to convert some of the knights. Liereyy, does he think he has the timing to go for the counterattack? Feels ballsy.
Technically it's possible, but Nicov is fully bored and he's got camels, so I'm not sure how much this could achieve. And on the other hand, he will not have the knights to kill those Mangonels with, so I'm not a big fan of that counterattack.
Wants to probably trade 1-for-1 with the Mangonels here, and indeed gets a shot off. Doesn't go for the delete. Might not have been enough. Now goes for the fight here. Both Mangonels still living.
Yeah,
and Knights going through the same hole as before. Oh god, this will be so ugly. Although, well, no bloodlines and only +1 defense.
Yeah, like a few camels could clean this one up, but once again, that's a lot of idle time for Nicov. And behind this one, Liereyy could click him.
Oh, wow. How is that even a thing? Oh, now breaks through the center. Mangonel short here. Not the craziest one ever. 3 Mangonels dying. Knights forcing a lot of idle time. Camels are coming back. And again, Nicov looking at over 30 idols.
Yeah, that's a disaster for him. Well, especially, like, even if he wasn't having this many idols, he would have been behind Nicov compared to Liereyy. Now he's definitely behind. Funny that neither of the players still have no Boso.
None of them got any Castle Age eco upgrades, indeed. Both got, like, all 3 Feudal Age upgrades pretty quickly. Liereyy now just camping it out. Maybe that is the timing to go for them. Indeed, Boso is now coming in. Nicov feels like he doesn't have the time yet. Do you think Nicov is jumping on it now? Or is he getting triggered the moment... How did that Mangonel not die? Is he getting triggered the moment Liereyy reaches Imp?
I think at latest, when Liereyy reaches Imp, he has to be triggered, but I think that's too late then, because Liereyy is gonna have orbs, and orbs will melt the camels. So I think he needs to jump right now, or he's pretty much done for the tournament.
Okay, let's take a look. Mangonel now pops out at the side. Liereyy never really deleting anything. Wants to get back. Oh, how did that one survive? 1 HP. Some Rams taking losses. The amount of monks is relatively low. Only 1 for now.
Yeah, Lierey's got some sick micro here.
The Mangonel dance. Are you kidding me? And wins uphill fight there without any losses. Okay, finally 1 for 1. Oh, those crossbowmen are pretty...
That's a nice one, but at the end of the day, Liereyy is still up to Imperial, and Dogao is just not, Nicov is just not having enough or anything to deal with those crossbows.
Okay, what's the play now? We are adding more barracks. A total of 4 will be there soon. Mangonel tries to get the shot off, but Lierey's too aware of it. Arbalest Tech and Bracer. The moment those 2 upgrades kick in, I think the camels are absolutely melting to Lierey's army. So that's why Nicov is jumping on it now. Is he actually trying to imp? Look at that. He's not producing any more army. I think he's not trying to all in this.
Yeah, he's trying to imp here. Trying to get some nice shots on top of those crossbows. And remember that... the Indian Camel armor upgrade is actually an incremental bonus, so it is getting better in Imperial. So in proportion, Imperial age camels from Indians are better against Arbs than Castle Age camels are against crossbows, but it's going to take forever for him to get into Imperial, and he has no defense against that. It's going to be very hard to keep that army alive.
Yeah, and at that moment, Liereyy will also have some pikemen aiding his Arbalest numbers. And like 5 to 10 pikemen at front are just making the fight so much better for the Arbalest player.
Yeah, I think what Nicov needs to do here is use his mobility, because those camels melt buildings very fast, so he could move in and try to snipe one of those ranges, and that would force Liereyy to take the fight, or Liereyy could just start moving forward. And Nicov will have to abandon the gold mine. He just has to run for his life right now.
And he is, and keeps a lot of lives there. Okay, not a single villager lost, so nice reaction. Gets the defensive castle up at the front. Still runs around with mass amount of camels. Doesn't really feel like he wants to overcommit. Not really jumping on it, although he sees so much army in his own base.
Yeah, I think this is the moment when he needs to go for the archer ranges, or maybe even the barracks. Those camels melt buildings very, very fast here. He's trying to get into the wood line. And yeah, Lierey's army isn't able to achieve a lot here. Nicov still has the better villager count, but a lot of idols.
Indeed, 13 idols at the moment, so basically working villagers is slightly better. TC count now at 4 for Nicov. Run out the woodline in the back. Reproducing or rebuilding the houses here. Halberdiers are coming over soon to be Halberdiers. At number is 11 at the moment, and I think he can make somewhat of a defense happen.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. If Nicov went for the barracks, by the way, he could have actually denied that Halberdier for a brief moment. Now it's Halberdiers, but even against pikes, those camels would just melt.
Oh yeah, that's so ugly. Meanwhile, Arbalest at the top, going in deep there. Shouldn't really find too much. Could dive under the TCs. Not a lot of damage output from there. And yeah, that's indeed what he is doing. Could run into a mean trap, but not a single mangonel being produced.
Yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Nicov right now. I mean, he still has the villager count. Now he's adding ranges for what is probably elite skirms. And plate barding, but no heavy camo. Heavy camo is a very expensive upgrade that Nicov cannot afford.
Oh yeah, it is relatively even to plate barding, right? Slightly more expensive, but takes ages. Look at that. How long is that upgrade? 1 minute 45 seconds? Crazy.
Yes, that is correct. Now, Liereyy could lose all those ARPs here to the camels. Although the camels are still missing attack upgrades, I'm not sure if this is going to be a good fight for Nicov.
Oh, not the craziest fight. He will lose at least half of them, if not more. Halberdiers are trying to come into that fight as well. And is Liereyy microing towards them? Feels like the Halberdiers are just attacking the villagers now. That means Arbalest are fighting on their own. And yeah, it's still no heavy camel upgrade.
Yeah,
just
this is over.
So long.
It is over. And once again, I feel like the biggest weakness of Indians is them not having knights here. And camels will never be amazing against archers.
Remember, directly after this, we will probably have an interview with Liereyy and then jump into a quiz show. The Viper against Doubt. They're betting, trying to get to the right answer. You clearly don't want to miss that. It will be starting in roughly 15 minutes on this very channel. Liereyy going through. He will face Hera tomorrow. I think the main event, so the late match again tomorrow.
Yeah, indeed. Liereyy versus Hera. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. And the top part of the bracket is just sick. A little bit unfortunate for Nicov that he got Liereyy here. But it's a very strong lineup remaining in the tournament. So it's very hard to get into the quarterfinals here.
No. Nicov getting 3-0'd by Doubt, getting 3-0'd by Liereyy. In a tournament where it felt like he could have had a top 8 performance, but rough group. Doubt performing so well, better than most people would have expected. And, well, Nicov finishing 9th till 12th. Unfortunate for him. And I think he didn't play too poorly, right? I think against a lesser player, and a lot of people that even are in the round of 16, I think he could have taken several games, if not the series.
Yeah, probably. honestly, I feel like the biggest disappointment for Nicov is potentially losing 3-0 to Doubt, because Doubt played very good, but getting 3-0'd is a bit too rough for Nicov there.
And a 12-minute game there. That didn't really help.
Yeah, so if Nicov wins against the Doubt, this could have been a completely different situation.
Let's take a look if... Oh, look at that! Quick boys there on Liquipedia, already updating the full bracket. So tomorrow, I think the starter will be Doubt versus Velas, 13 GMT.